you told me an interesting story when you got here about how you actually hacked into the Swedish government's network.
Yeah, well, it's a governmental institution,
Okay.
so not the real government.
Yeah.
Just give me some time, and that would, I mean, they're all connected to each other, so that I could probably got much further.
How did this all come about?
Well, it actually came about when I talked to journalists, and they asked me the same question all the time. Like,
What is that question? I won't ask it.
That question is, what kind of threats, what types of threats do you predict we will see in the future?
Yeah.
And that question is not relevant. Because the thing is, we are still vulnerable against the stuff that we've been talking about for 30 years. Boring things like, you need to have a secure password. You need to update all the security, all the new security patches to fix all the vulnerabilities. All those things that we've been talking about that everyone already knows is actually the things that we're not doing. Because we focus way too much on future technology.
Yeah.
New products, new services to protect us against new viruses, new malware. But they won't help us.
Now tell me about how, the whole situation. How did you actually hack into the system? What did you do?
Well, the goal was actually not to use any vulnerabilities, not any tools. So I called up this IT director guy and said, I want to prove to the world that it is possible to actually compromise big governmental systems without using any new vulnerabilities, to actually do it the traditional way. And he said, sure, let's do it. So he was the only person that knew about this test.
Yeah. That was very nice of him.
That is very nice of him, yes. So he knew which day I would perform the test, but he didn't know at which hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I showed up, and do you want to hear the entire story?
I do.
Okay. So the main
you can shorten it if you want.
I will. So the main gate has a lot of cameras and security guards and so on, but the main building is also connected to a cafeteria.
Okay.
So we could just walk in the cafeteria, and we thought that, okay, if we just walk in the cafeteria, we're in. But we weren't in. The thing is that there's a door connecting the cafeteria with the governmental building.
Right.
So we did the James Bond trick, which is just pick up your phone, pretend that you're busy talking to someone inside the building, and just wait for someone else to open the door. And when they opened the door,
worked.
we sneaked in. But that was only step one. So step one was to get physical access to the building. That took us 3 minutes. Then the next goal was to get network access, corporate network access. I'm not talking about some guest Wi-Fi or some wire. No, we wanted the real deal.
Yeah.
The first thing we see when we come up to the in the building is a printing room, where they have printers, and the printers is connected to the network, and of course there's network connections everywhere.
Cables,
so we just took our computer, connected to the network, and we were in.
And nobody asked any questions.
No. Would you ask any questions if you would see someone walking around here with a laptop,
probably
working?
Working.
Yeah, working. Probably not, right?
So that really tells me that most companies are quite vulnerable if you could get into a governmental institution so easily.
Yes.
So once you're...
Because the trick is that we don't expect someone to do that.
Right.
We do expect someone to sit at home in their basement and attack us over the internet.
Now, once you're on that network, what kind of information do you have access to?
Well, I had access to critical infrastructure. We're talking about electricity, heating, telephones, broadband, hospitals, schools, that kind of information. So that's a lot of information. The problem was to find that information.
Yeah.
Because it's not that they have a specific room where it says sensitive data, secret information.
Cyber criminals, look here.
Look here, please. Yeah, they don't have that. So what we did is that we simply asked a person, like, hey, I'm from the IT department. I'm actually here to fix the network. Can you please help me? Of course we can.
That's shocking.
It is that simple. So when we talk about new zero-day vulnerabilities that no one heard about before, we talk about all these latest threats, is that really what we should focus on? Maybe we should find some kind of balance on focus on technical vulnerabilities, but also try to change the mindset of the people that's actually working with computers.
Yeah. How do we change that mindset?
Well, one common thing, or one thing that is very common at companies is that you send technical people to technical education, and you send non-technical people to non-technical education. But who is the people who actually need the technical education?
It's the people who don't have it already.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we could just start with that. Try to educate our staff that's that's actually working with the system, that's handling the information, because it's not only the system administrator or the IT guy that has access to all this data. We normal employees also have access to the data. Maybe just a sub-portion of the data, but if you don't even know what data that's considered as sensitive, if you don't even know what the company is trying to do to raise the security level, how can you help with that?
Yeah, it's near impossible, really.
It's impossible. So we need to involve our employees. We need to make sure that they are helping us increase the security level, not just point fingers at the IT department and say, it's your fault, it's your responsibility, you need to fix it. No, it's everyone's responsibility.